Hey, welcome back. We're gonna be jumping to this and talking about. So I noticed, the this game we have a lot of the special event challenge, and basically you earn tokens and trying to get you know legendary or rare hero, basically good heroes, for your team. So what is the best way to maximize amount of tokens that you can get and minimize the amount of food that you can use? So typically per day, I can earn easily 200 tokens. That's really no issues. Sometimes I can push it, but kind of depend on the luck, on how many times you run into the event, the special encounter. So the first thing I do is I save up a quite big chunk of food at least, um, and then actually just pretend this is a midnight, everything resets, and you save 180 food, the maximum amount of food that you can have. Let's just pretend. So the first thing I do is I'll go in the trials without using any food, because trial you don't have to use any food. You get one free one every day. So you go in there, you do the whole tier, whatever tier that you can beat from one level, stage one, all the way to stage 7. And there's a chance that you might encounter a special event challenge. I usually encounter once, twice, sometimes really lucky 3 times. But I think they did decrease the chance of encountering them a little bit. So now I usually either encounter it once or none, or sometime very lucky twice. But after I do my trials, because that's 7 battles right there you can win, and every time you win, there is a chance that you might encounter it. So, and after that, I go to realms. This here you get, each one of these are free for the first time as well, and it doesn't really matter you win or lose. It's just basically there's no winning or losing in this. It's basically whether you can beat the hero, or you can't. You can beat the boss, or you can't beat the boss. You still consider as win. You're still gonna get your rewards, and because of that, there is a chance that you can encounter the special event challenge over here as well. And then after that, I do my regular battles. Um, I go to the arena, see how many tries I got. Sometime you beat the arena challenge, you will encounter it too. Pretty not a high chance, but there is a chance of it happening. I know when the event first came out, I counted actually quite a bit through the arena, but again, I think they decreased the chance of you encountering them. So, but there is a chance. So, and again, doesn't cost you any food, just cost you arena tries. So those are all the things that you can do to save you from using any food. Um, I don't recommend Siege. You will not be able to encounter them here. I have yet to encounter one. I'm not sure if anybody else has encountered it. But I did a lot of Siege, and plus, if you're not at certain level, this will not be available to you anyway. But the nice part about Siege is, go ahead and do your Siege. Um, Save. What I would do is usually save your essence until it builds up to about 10,000. Is it not? Is it not 10,000? Yeah, 10,000. And then you go in here and see what I did. I bought the 100 food and a 30 food as well. So it does cost you some food to do the challenge in here. But what I do is I pick on here players that have a lot of assets saved up, and just kind of attack them and take it from them. And because of this event, most people don't have as much essence saved up because they all get attacked. And I got attacked too, so that's why I don't really save up much essence. As soon as I save enough, I use them. And that's just another way where you can get an additional 130 food for, without much trying, without spending gems. Um, and then let's just say right now I still have 180, do all that stuff. You probably, at least by now, if you do all that, you probably at least encounter once or twice already, unless you're just not lucky, which can happen because it happened to me before. So, and then after that, jump right into here. Start doing your just regular daily challenges. Talking about daily challenges, here you can have dinner time, lunchtime, feast. Each one of them will give you 60 food. As you can see, I already claimed mine today. I have dinner to do left. So And then if you do 20 dungeon battles, you will get also 30 food. So you can total in here you can claim 150 food toward your just the special daily challenge. So make sure you do all your quests. And then while you're doing your dungeon battles, that's where most of the encounter is gonna be. And I notice most of the time, okay, is if you do troops encounter. Troops encounter basically is considered as hell mode in dungeon. And I notice that when you do your troop challenges, where you're gonna be able to get most uh, the highest chance basically to encounter a special the the hero that's featured for the week, the event hero basically, and beat them and get your tokens. Now, I typically don't do all of it because it gets pretty expensive in here. It's 10 for the first try, 20 for the second, and then 30 uh, for the third, and it increases so on and so forth. So it gets pretty expensive. It adds up pretty quick. So what I usually do is pick the troop that you like, pick the troop that you are currently work on, and you can farm for the relics. Like for instance, Bandit Troop. I basically got them to level 5 already, max them out. Um, so basically, farm. I like them, so I farm for them. This guy, I farm for it too, but not as much. I usually do the first encounter, the first challenge, which cost me 10 food, and after that, I don't do the 20 because it gets pretty expensive, and it's plus not really that best type of troop to have anyway. Um, this one, same thing. I just do the first level 1, and then after that, I kind of just leave it alone. Talos here, I do level 1 and level 2. So that's why you see it costs 30 food here to challenge level, because I'm trying to get Talos up to level 5, evolve him to level 5, which is a long way. It's 150 relics, it's a long ways, and the chance of drop rate is pretty low. So I do the first 2 challenges um, for each basically for each one of these. I do the first 2, and then there's a pretty good chance of you encountering one of the um, event heroes doing that. Um, Crystal Elemental, I do that for the first one. I don't do that for the second one because it's not what I'm focusing on. And basically, so on and so forth. You pick the one that you want and do the first one, the first battle. If you really, really wanted that one, then do the second one as well. But I find that this is the best method to actually encounter those event hero. The next easiest way to basically encounter those event hero is by going through doing the trying to get the relics here for these rare heroes or regular hero. So basically, pick one that you are working on. For example, I'm trying to get the 5 stars. So basically, go into battle her. I battle her twice, which cost you 8 food for the first try and 16 for the second. And there is also a higher chance of encountering the event hero as well. So it's worth doing. It does seems like it's a little bit more at the beginning investment, but for some reason you just encounter them more by doing the hell mode or the elite mode of the dungeons. And I think a lot of people will agree with me on this one. And then lastly, there is a quest where you have to do 5 of the dungeon on the on normal. So basically, just go on normal. I usually pick the highest chapter you have because I feel like that's where you're gonna get most on your encounter anyway, and plus that's where you get the better rewards. So just go in there, just click Ray and use your Ray tokens, do 5 of them, and there might be a chance you encounter it here as well. So that's what I typically do, and the last thing I do. So basically, the goal is to basically get as many tokens as you can per day, and you can do all 3 level 1, 2, and 3 challenges when you encounter the event heroes. That's 30 coins, the 30 tokens right there. The last thing I do is when let's say I'm really low on food, I have no food left, and I just happen to encounter an event hero. Don't you get pissed when that happens? I do. So what you do is you just go to the alliance, go to the token shop. I always save at least 15 token in my shop because of that very reason. So in here you can spend 15 tokens to get 60 food. So that's just enough for you to do level 1, 2, and 3, assuming you don't lose any of the battles. So always I use this is my last thing to use. Sometime I use in the day, sometime I don't. But if you can beat level 1, 2, and 3, that's 30 tokens. And this only costs you 15, so and you still profit 15 tokens. If you can only beat level 1 and 2, you still profit 5 tokens. So that's level 1 and 2 is 20 tokens, you still profit 5 from the deducted 15 for spending here. But you can only beat level 1, then this is not worth it. You will lose uh, token that way. So that's the last thing I usually buy when I when I'm low on food. But I have to encounter a hero first before I jump in there and buy. I just don't buy it because just for the food. Because sometimes you can use all those food up and you don't encounter nothing. So it's a little risk when you do it that way. So I just wait till I'm really low on food, and if I just happen to encounter it, then I'll go ahead and get it. But yeah, I think that is pretty much it for this. You can do special world challenge in here to help people out, but the chance of that is pretty low. I don't remember recalling even once encounter it, a special event hero. But I might have once. I can't remember, but it does get pretty expensive. You do that. It's 20 food for the first one, and then 40, and then 80 after. It's just not worth it. But yeah, so that's what I do. I I don't really do any campaigns because um that's just not my thing. But I know I used to go in here and just spam this raid button in normal, but I realized that the chance of encounter is so much lower versus when you do elite or hell. So I don't recommend do normal unless you're just super lazy and you have a ton of food laying around where you don't care. Then do it there because then you still can encounter them here, but there's a much lower chance. So that is how I basically do my token. Oh, and one last thing before I forget. This guy, the elite boss for the alliance, what I recommend you do is if your alliance pretty active and everybody contribute, everybody attack this guy, then I suggest you and basically you all manage to take down the boss every time it comes up because I think you got about 6 hours, 5 6 hours to take down the boss before the timer runs out. If the timer runs out and you don't have and your alliance did not finish him off, then you don't get any tokens. So it's a waste of an investment. But if your alliance, they do consistently beat him before the timer runs out, then this is worth doing. It costs you 10 food for the first one, and 20. It adds up as you go. But like my alliance, we're usually able to take him down consistently. Not 100% of the time, but I'd say probably about 90% of the time we will take him down. So what I do is I go in here, I do the first battle, cost me 10 food, and I do like maybe 3 to 4% damage depending on who the boss is, and then I have a lot of strong alliance members in here, so they actually do a whole lot more damage than I can ever do. So by doing just attack it once and you beat the boss, you tend to get anywhere between 7 to 11, 12 tokens. I think the most I get is like 12 tokens for just one single attack. It's based on how much damage you do to the boss. That's how much token you will get. And the boss power is also based on the alliance power. So it's scaled to your alliance power. So it's not, if you're in a weak alliance, that doesn't mean you guys can't beat it. It just means that you all, it's the same for everybody. It's just that everybody has to contribute. Everybody has to attack to help take him down without being too expensive in the cost of food. So this is also worth doing if you can take down the boss consistently. Every time I use 10 food, and I can get 7 tokens, 10 tokens, 12 tokens around there. Let's just pretend that you get 10 tokens. That's half of what you would have spent when you do a special event challenge, assuming you beat it the first time. It costs you 20 food per level 1, level 2, and level 3 in the special event challenge, and you only get 10 food per level. I mean, you only get 10 token per level with 20 food spent. So if here you can spend 10 food and get 10 tokens, you are maximizing the amount of tokens that you can get. So definitely worth doing. And then yeah, that's the free way to do it. And then you can always go and purchase your good old food in here. For 100 gems you get 100 food, 250 gems you get 300 foods. So that's the way you can spend your gems as well. I have not yet to purchase any. I just kind of maximize what I have, and I get them as much token as I needed per day. Because these does add up pretty quick, and I want to save my gems for a treasure chest. But and also Alliance Shop, I do spend my gems. This is the one place I do spend my gems because I want to get those relics and their heroic tokens. So, but yeah, that is it, guys. I hope it helps. If you have any questions or any other suggestion, any other better methods to save up tokens and use the least amount of food, let me know. But other than that, I'll see you all in the next video. Take care, guys.